This is the steak recipe that chefs don't want beginners to know about because it's so easy. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I am normally not really comfortable making steaks, but you made it so easy.
And that is it. I mean, that is it right there. That is the absolute perfect steak. I realize that on some of these recipes, we might be overcomplicating things. There's a lot of people writing me privately and they're like, hey, I don't even know how to cook a steak. Like, I don't even know where to start. Lauren's gonna be the beginner cook. We all know that she's an excellent chef. And I'm just gonna go very basic on this. Steak comes in the mail, more specifically as in recently the Wellness Farms has these great meat boxes. And I've had people reach out to me and they're like, I love it. And there's all these different steak cuts in there. Where do I start? So we've got two steaks. This is a top sirloin right here. This is a strip. And the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna take your steaks out of the package, you're gonna put it on a sheet pan, and you're gonna take paper towels and you're gonna dry your steak. So nothing can brown in the presence of steam. So all that moisture on the exterior of the meat is going to inhibit the browning process.
So
right?
Is it better to keep your meat out longer where it's more like room temp, or does it matter?
That's a great question. Everybody talks about that, is that if you leave your meat at room temp for a couple hours, does not make a difference. I know that people like to think that it does, but we've done the side-by-side test, and I also think a lot of food scientists have done this as well. If you leave your meat out, sitting out, it does not affect the even temperature all the way through, especially if you're gonna do a reverse sear, because that's effectively doing the same thing. And once again, this applies to any cut of meat. So any cut you got, whether it's the flat iron, the Denver, the top sirloin, the picanha, the flank steak, the filet, the strip, the ribeye, the T-bone, you name it. Key with salting is you wanna do it like snowflakes, right? So do it from up above so you get an even distribution of the salt across the meat. We're gonna flip it over, we're gonna salt the other side. Now we're keeping things simple, so we're not gonna talk about the dry brine and the pre-salt on this one. You can go back to other episodes to understand how pre-salting for 24 hours affects the meat. And in terms of the type of salt, I like either a kosher salt, right, for the large granules, or a nice sea salt. Vera sea salt, which is microplastic free, is a salt that we like to recommend, but any kosher salt or larger flake sea salt. I'm gonna take some olive oil, all right? And I'm just gonna add a little bit of fat to lubricate the meat on both sides. So we'll rub it down, okay? So now we're doing fat. Now, in this case, for the fat, you can do extra virgin olive oil because we're not gonna take it up to above 375 degrees. We're gonna do it in the oven first. You do extra virgin olive oil, beef tallow, lard. I would not use whole butter at this point because ultimately we are gonna sear it so those milk solids can burn, but ghee would work well. Just avoid the seed oils. We're gonna put these steaks in the oven and cook it for 8 minutes at 325 degrees per inch of steak. So if it was a 2-inch steak, I might go 16 minutes or tone it down a touch.
Okay.
There we go, look.
And they're so ugly.
And they're so ugly, but that's okay. That's okay. So now we're gonna dry it again a little bit.
We're gonna dry.
We're gonna dry this,
like
right?
Real wet.
Save some of that liquid.
Okay.
And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this pan super, super, super hot. So this is the part that is easy because all you gotta do is turn it on to high. We'll get a little bit more fat in there. This is, once again, I'm gonna go ahead and use some of the olive oil, beef tallow combo. The oil needs to run like water, okay? You want that oil to be moving around in a pan like water. That's how you know it's hot enough. It's not gonna hard smoke, like you don't want that pan getting so hot that you think it's gonna light on fire, but you want it to almost have little wisps of smoke coming off the base of the pan. So over a high heat, a carbon steel pan should take about 2 to 3 minutes to heat up. Begin. Woo! There you go. Okay, now we'll put this one in there.
Oh, look at that, like a glove.
And just let it go. See? Let the initial sear go about a minute, right? Okay. Then start doing the 30-second flip.
Is that on both sides? Or just the first side?
Just on the first side. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna go ahead and give it a nice flip.
Oh God, the pressure.
Got a nice sear on there, right? We're just gonna let that go.
And that'll be 30 seconds, and then we'll...
Exactly.
Okay.
If you wanted to grill, you would do the same thing, but instead of finishing it in a pan, you would finish it on the grill, which a lot of beginners want to do.
And on the grill, do you do the same thing?
Yeah, the same thing, exactly. So we would take it from the oven, we'd walk it out to the grill, we'd have the grill on 500 degrees, and we'd just start cooking and flipping on the grill.
Nice.
So now we're at the 30-second mark, right? So let's give it another flip.
Okay. It's getting hot over here.
It is getting hot over here. So is the steaks.
So this is easy.
This is so easy. This is like.
But I think people freak out about if they want, the temp, if they want it rare, medium, and so they don't really know what to do. What are we going on this one?
We're gonna do about mid-rare on the strip,
and so
then
how long would people for a mid-rare?
If the longer you want, so if you want it medium plus, I would go 10 minutes in the oven or 12 minutes in the oven. So you increase the time in the oven, not the time in the pan. Yeah.
Got it. So ours is 8 minutes. So.
Yep.
Okay. Which is what? Medium rare?
Yeah. So now we're just going to give this another flip. We're starting to get some beautiful color on here. Okay, so I'm just going to do one more round of flipping, and that's it.
And then as far as resting the meat
and then after that,
what is a good way to tell people how long to rest their meat?
10 minutes. Let your meat rest for 10 minutes. For any steak, let your meat rest for 10 minutes.
What if it's like a thick boy?
If it's a thick boy, 10 minutes is still fine.
10 minutes? Okay.
Yep. We got a nice browning on here, okay? So we're gonna pull these, and while they're resting, I've got all these beautiful juices in the pan. I'm gonna take the juice from the pan that we originally cooked in, and we're gonna throw it in there. We're gonna turn this heat down, all right? And I'm gonna now take about 3 tablespoons of butter and throw it in the pan. I'm gonna take the butter and just swirl it in there with the pan with the steak juices.
Yeah.
Okay? Look at that. Now you're getting extra flavor. So you're getting the flavor off the bottom of the pan. You're browning some of the butter, which adds that deep, rich, toasted, nutty butter fat feel. And then we'll just pour this over the steak.
Oh, so it just stops there.
Yep.
That's it.
Easy. We're keeping it simple. Now, let's bring this over to the cutting board. To recap, we pulled the steaks from the oven. We dried them a little bit more. We got a pan blasting hot. We seared them on one side for 60 seconds, and then we started flipping every 30 seconds. We did that for about 4 minutes, and then we pulled the steaks from the pan, put them back on the original sheet pan, and then turned the heat down to low. We threw the juices from when the steaks had been resting back into the steak searing pan. Then we turned the heat off, but we scraped off some of the bits on the bottom of that pan. And then we threw in about 3 tablespoons of butter, and we swirled that around the pan, let some of that butter toast a bit, and then poured it back over our steak. So now as the steaks rest, that butter is like permeating the steak, and it's kind of mixing some of those browned, nutty, milk solid, toasted pieces into the steak. This is where you can have fun, right? So everyone wants to like introduce all these different flavors to their steak. If you're gonna introduce flavors and spices and vinegars and garlic, do it now while the steak is resting, because the steak is hot, so it's like absorbing some of those flavors. I've got some fresh chives here. Now, I just love that simple mild onions flavor on the steak. We've talked about this before. The flavonoids, which is really like the oils within the herbs, are going to infuse with the butter from the steak. So you're gonna get like a deeper flavor by adding it over the steak while it's still hot. And that's it. I mean,
that's so simple.
What I like to do is, and we'll show you this as well, look at all this beautiful flavor that's left over right here. What you can do is that you can, should we show people how to make a quick pan sauce with this?
I was gonna say, let's not waste all of that by throwing it back on top of
Well, what I was gonna say is that what you can do is take your original steak pan, right?
Throw this back.
Throw those juices back in there.
Yep.
And mount this with a little bit more butter. Because this is what they do in restaurants, right? Like this is a pan sauce. It's actually called Monte au beurre when you mount it with butter at the end, right? You could add caramelized onions in here. You can add anything to make this a natural pan gravy.
Look how thick that is.
Yep, see, we've mounted it with butter. Now we got a pan gravy, a natural pan gravy. No flour, no preservatives, no additives, just nothing but pure steak sauce. That is just absolutely gorgeous right there. I mean, I want to drink this.
So shiny. How is it?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let me try.
Yeah, this is steakhouse style. This is like a $100 plate from Morton's.
Wow.
I mean, that's it right there. Now, what I like to do is add a little vinegar because we've got so much richness to this.
Very rich.
So I've got some balsamic vinegar, some aged balsamic vinegar, just to cut through the richness. And that is it. I mean, that is it right there. That is the absolute perfect steak.
That looks good.
Yeah. Look at that.
It was easy.
Yeah,
Even though he ended up doing half of it.
I got so excited.
He literally cannot help himself.
I got so excited.
But it's all right. Oh, I could tell by how it sounds. It's going to be great. Yep.
I mean, look at that. Wow. Top sirloin, absolutely perfect, edge to edge. You can kind of see that cut. The key is there. What makes this steak excellent is it's just the even color all the way throughout. You only have a little bit of that gray on the exterior from the sear. And the steak has been tenderized through the cooking process. We can even just drizzle a little bit of the pan sauce.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. Pure beef.
Delicious.
This is the Wellness Farms product. You can taste how clean it is. You can taste it clean. It's grass finished, grass raised and grass finished, but it's just a very clean flavor. Some say gamier, but it's not gamier. It's like, I want to taste my meat.
It's beefier.
It's beefier, exactly.
It's
like I don't want, with some of this overly fatty, like cliche Wagyu style beef, you get this coating on your palate that almost mutes the flavor of the meat because the fat's in the way. This is a clean bite.
So I am normally not really comfortable making steaks, but you made it so easy. The most delicious, beefiest meat ever.
Yeah, let the meat do the work. Let the meat do the work. That's what never mind.
Don't even. I knew it was going there. I knew it. I was setting you up.
So take this technique and apply it to any cut that you get and any steak. And I guarantee you that you're gonna supersede your expectations and bring the steakhouse into your house.
Or gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah.
Great date night idea. Cook a steak.
Go for it. And I would suggest just buy the 1/8 box, beef box from Wellness Farms and apply this technique to every single cut in the box. Except the ground beef. We're gonna pull some more recipes out for the ground beef.